Speaker number 4 will be speaking on topic number 3, which is how do you respond to people who question your belief in God and participation in the life of the church.
Reverend Fathers, honorable judges, and fellow parishioners and speakers, good morning. It is said that if Jesus Christ had not actually rose from the dead, that Christianity would have died out within 200 years after his death. Yet here we are, 2,000 years later, and the Christian faith is still followed, but it is also challenged. In the past 9 years in the United States alone, 5 million fewer people identify as Christians. It is no secret that it is becoming harder and harder to be a Christian in today's world, especially as a young person. Not a week goes by where I do not debate religion and faith with my peers who have been raised in mostly secular households. They argue things such as, why do you believe in God if you do not actually know that he is there? What if, when life is all done and over with, you find out that Jesus Christ did not actually resurrect? Why won't you just sleep in on Sundays and meet up with us for breakfast? Although these are all extremely complex questions, I have been able to come up with a few simple answers. For starters, I do have proof that God exists. I have my faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1. This idea is also reiterated in the creed of our faith. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and of all things visible and invisible. Just because we cannot see air does not mean that it is not there. Just as we cannot see God, but we know that he is there too. Secondly, if the worst case scenario is true and someday I die and find out that Jesus did not resurrect, or even if we found this out today for some reason, I would not be full of regret. I am living a life where I strive to help others do the right thing and repent for my sins. I would not be disappointed in myself for doing so. Lastly, I cannot sleep in on Sundays because I have to and want to go to church. When our faith is challenged, we are stronger together, as we observe in the book of Daniel. Under the rule of King Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon began to worship a golden idol. When the trumpet sounded, all were to bow down and worship, and those who refused were thrown into a furnace. 3 men, by the names of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, refused to give up their faith in God to worship the idol. Not even the punishment and torture of the furnace scared them. They told King Nebuchadnezzar that our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery flames, and he will deliver us out of thine hand, O king. Daniel chapter 3, verse 17. King Nebuchadnezzar was so angry at this that he ordered the furnace to be turned up to 7 times the normal temperature, the men to be tied up and thrown into the flames. After some time in the furnace, a miracle happened. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were right because God was with them. When the king looked into the flames, he observed, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Daniel chapter 3, verse 25. King Nebuchadnezzar immediately had the 3 men removed from the fire, and they were completely unharmed and did not even smell of smoke. The bravery and faith of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego can teach us many things about being a Christian, even in today's world. By being resilient in our faith in God and each other, we can overcome those who challenge our faith. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did not turn their backs on God, even though they were being thrown into a flaming furnace, which is not something that most of us would face today. By not giving up on God, God did not give up on them, because with God, nothing shall be impossible. Luke, verse 1, chapter 37. In addition to this, they also did not give up on one another. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had God and each other, as we too do today, which is why Christians are able to be so strong. For the Christian faith to exist, there needs to be a community. By participating in the life of the church, we create this community, which makes us stronger in our faith and brings us closer to God. And by being close to our God, we are able to stand unwavering in our faith, no matter who challenges it. So no, I can't make it to breakfast next Sunday because I will be here with you. Thank you for listening to me speak this morning.